Welcome back to the Janus World Building Project. In this video, we'll explore design principles from Rodentia for the planter-affiliated Swells. Bobbing lazily in the thick air of a hot, humid summer, the three friends listened to the drone of lonely bugs in the trees along the riverbanks, and casually followed the passing shimmer of tentative minnows in the tangle of happy water plants beneath their boat. Surfacing from some cozy musing, the shortest of the three ventured a conjecture. "Do you reckon we ought to swap to fixed from fluid?" The dreamstrider next to him inquired. "What?" A blank stare from the stray cog as well. He continued. "Well, it's flexible and all, only thing I've ever known, really, but wouldn't it do to make something really fabulous that stays put?" "Please clarify. Do you mean something dead?" the cog asked. "Even dead things are fluid, dear," the strider contended. Then, "Dreft, have you hatched up some curious plan?" "Not exactly, Cyan. Just a feeling, really. An idea to tinker with." He grinned. "My stead managed a kind of fixed state while I was still algae farming, but more like a standing wave than a non-living thing like a crystal." The cog interjected. "Crystals count as standing waves in the right dimensions. Very small, round and round in deep time." "Very well, a sort of living crystal then. A standing wave of continuous becoming, with a personality as spirit launching into future unknown with enough inertia to last, really last. Like an engine, but for life?" is all he concluded. "I find myself increasingly intrigued, yet cannot fathom how to make such a thing on a river." Cyano with a gentle smile. "Our Dreft ready to settle down?" Dreft returned a gentle smile. "All this time I thought I was the current, but in the end I find myself silt." Their attention turned to a muskrat swimming by in the cool water, leaving a subtle wake. A reminder of the rodents the Swells study so thoughtfully. The morphological variety among rodents ranges from small, agile members such as the hopping desert jerboa to the keystone communal prairie dogs, from the well-defended porcupine to the acrobatic flying squirrel, the industrious beaver to the placid capybara, and the eusocial colonial naked mole rat. Adaptations such as the barbed, modified hairs of porcupine, stiff and painful quills, protect them from eager predators, while thermal windows and ears manage temperature in environmental extremes. The naked mole rat's eusociality manages low-nutrient, low-oxygen tunnel environments with a strict caste system under a reproducing queen served by workers. In the skies, the flying squirrel glides gracefully from tree to tree with stretched skin. Among many, niche modification takes the form of burrowing, with prairie dogs arranging entrance heights to establish passive ventilation, while beavers transform ecosystems by building dams along running water to form a protective moat for their lodge made of trees they fell with iron-fortified teeth. Many rodents shed their hair seasonally to change color, with layers of hair specialized for waterproofing and maintaining warmth. Also interacting with seasons of drought or freeze, beaver dams change watersheds with a sophisticated diversity of building techniques for controlling flow. Some tails are specialized, from flat beaver tails, scaled muskrat tails, and bony tail coverings in some rats. Their anatomy is similar to humans, with variations in arrangement and a developed cecum for plant matter. Learning from these natural models, the Swells lavish their houseboats with attention, designing from all local natural materials, emphasizing wood and reeds, and supplementing with clever gadgets. They have characteristic clothing types with waders, multiple adjustable layers, and thermal radiator hats, but material choice and color is as varied as individual temperament. The local materials used, heavy timber and reeds, form defensive spines to protect against large ambush predators on the neighboring banks, while bioplastic composite viewports allow a yellow-tinted view out and daylight in. Tools learned from teeth with replaceable shears and from squirrels with flying fish lures. Within their boats, a compact footprint locates social steering at fore and private tinkering quarters to aft, over storage in the hull. Meaningful tattoos are common, and tools such as fishing spears made hollow to float enable life entirely along the river. Taken together, a sprawling and eclectic collection of their houseboats glitter with tinkered gadgets and colorful art in a vibrant flotilla. The families in each boat have a microculture aligned in subtle ways with their boat, and drawing closer reveals gentle, exotic smells and soft, bespoke music wafting between the floating DIY dwellings. Roughly midway amid the sprawl, a larger boat stands out with glimpses of machinery and movement within. Each boat is self-sufficient, but spare parts and know-how are shared collectively among the enthusiastic tinkerers of the great float. Most are solar-powered, electric, with occasional biofuel digesters, and filter river water and waste to minimize impact on river ecosystems. All materials assembled in the fab barge, and all waste is returned there for reprocessing. The fab barge began as a make-anything fab lab that took to the water as the maker community using it fled upheaval. Instead of focusing on automation for efficiency, tinkers built robots for fancy, and kept their humanity at the heart of their work. Populations are relatively convergent on each boat, but highly variable between them. The decisions of the flotilla are proposed by the Fabarge Egghead, selected annually through a playful but competitive blind review of each newest gadget presented. A transmutational barter system governs material economy, while service builds up subconscious community credit to request or receive services in return. Intrigued by the new possibilities of settling down, Dreft, Sienna, and Kieran piloted their shared houseboat over to the fab barge to talk with Dreft's Egghead about their options and to potentially say goodbyes. Boating slowly down the river, with the rippling waves lapping gently against the hull, they pulled up alongside the broad fab barge. Unlike the typical Swells boats, the fab barge boasted a vaulted glass roof, filling it with daylight for good visibility, warmth in winter, and an inviting beacon to others at dusk. They moored up on one of the dock points and climbed aboard, steadying themselves as they moved from the sway of their little craft to the stability of the barge. As they passed through the threshold, Dreft's face lit up with the joy of so many inventions humming in messy harmony. They made their way to the center, where a precarious living loft swung from wooden beams over the Egghead's workbench. "New project?" a voice teased, with long-practiced warmth, holding space for an over-eager explanation of this or that new possibility dawning on the myriad inquisitive minds in the flotilla. "A big one, and rather distinct a direction at that," Dreft called back. Kieran leaned over to look at some machinery he might arguably bear distant relation to. The three arrived at Egghead's desk, and he gleamed down at them. His signature helm, covered in knobs, lights, and sensors, played a curious music of clicks and whirs, hums, and hisses. "I think I might be silt, see, as I'm feeling the pull to settle. On land, in a houseboat with no boat bit," Dreft continued. "But I'd like your thoughts, and maybe Bot's if I'm to do it." "Ah, that time, then. You found your way to stillness? I know just the thing." And the Egghead pulled on two strings with flourish. Suddenly, black curtains tumbled down around them, and a projector screen on one side unfurled. A small device in the center of the space lit up, with tracking cameras turning to follow each of them, while a projector beam lit up the screen. "Mobile Design Theater, Plexintech," Archie continued gleefully, "for big communal designs." "What does this have to do with moving out?" Sienna asked, recovering from her surprise at the curtain drop. "You have to decide where to move to and what to live in, don't you?" Dreft's curiosity prevailed. "How does it work?" The magic's in that little eyes and ears gizmo in the ceiling. It handles the tech fuss so you don't have to. Just look at the screen, talk, and gesture. Kieran, back from their device diversions, started off. Where should we move? A voice responded from the device. That depends on what you're looking for. Here's a map of the known world. Just point where you'd like me to focus in on. Sienna pointed to an area of wilderness, and their view fell swiftly towards the ground. Dreft pulled back in surprise, then regained balance. An intriguing choice. Small local watershed. Flora moderate, with temperate forest canopy and distinct seasonal shift, biased towards long hot summers. Higher biodiversity in riparian corridor. Exposed limestone with hints of uphill springs. Salvageable ruins within 10 miles. Ruins? Kieran inquired. The view sped to one side, landing on mottled growth with lingering hints of regular geometry. Metals long scavenged, but cementitious materials remain. Possible artifacts, risk of pollution. Good instinct, Sienna, said Dreft, pulling the view back to the brow of the wooded hill. And what would we do next, Archie? Why, design, of course, all together. A series of soft, clean shapes appeared above the landscape. Tell it your rooms. Well, space to sleep and tinker. To eat and grow. To charge and build. As they spoke, more spaces appeared, organizing themselves into hallways, rooms, patterns of flow, centers of attention, edges, opportunities. Resolving to explore this strange new fascination of Dreft's, the three assembled the parts the egghead recommended, and a few they thought critical themselves, loaded up their boat, and set course up the river to gather materials and the remaining supplies in the village of Leaguepock. Thank you for your time and attention. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Be well.